So first on the cleanup tools is the design file cleanup. And this tool can be very useful when you're trying to clean up your plans and make sure you don't have duplicate elements, overlapping elements, or gaps between elements. There's 4 different tabs: General, Duplicates, Overlaps, and Gaps. And on the General tab are the settings for the types of things you want to clean up. So first you set the view that you want to process. It has views 1 through 8. Then you can toggle on the create a backup of your file. If you wanted to create a backup, you can clean up contents inside of a fence area or outside of a fence area if you had a fence turned on. You can toggle on to place flags in the file, which are these little markers that get placed every time one of the instances is found. And then the flag size can be set here as well. And then at the bottom of the dialog, there's an overview or description of what each cleanup action is. So it says duplicate is when 2 or more elements of the same type share the same location and geometry. Overlap is when 2 elements partially overlap one another, and gap is when an element has an endpoint too far from another element. Then on the right side of the dialog are the different cleanup actions and what you want to do with the different actions, and I'll explain each of these options as I go through the different tabs. For the duplicates tab, under the duplicates tab you have 2 actions other than none, and that is delete or select. Delete will delete any duplicates it finds in the file, and select will create a selection set of the duplicates it finds. So I'm just going to click select here. The next thing you want to set is the element types. It will search for, so you can search for all types of elements in your file. You can search for just arcs or just cells or just lines that may be duplicated. Then you want to select what attributes of the element you want to match. So do you want to find elements that are on the same level, or do you want to find elements that are on the same level and color, or just color? You can select multiple here or just one. I'm going to just leave it at level and then just click apply. And when you do, it'll say down here that the cleanup is finished, and it says the duplicates equals 22, and that and over here it shows you that it's selected 11 of those. And then if you just kind of zoom out, you'll see where there's duplicate line works, and there's the selection set. And then you can either move this or delete it. I'm just going to delete it. And then that leaves the other elements underneath. And then if I was to select delete here, it would have just automatically deleted the elements instead of creating a selection set. Now the overlaps tab, under the actions you have select, flag, and interactive. And the select action will again create a selection set of any elements that overlap according to the settings that we have set. And here again you can select the different types of elements that you want. You can select them all, or you could just select like arcs and lines and line strings. It's just up to you what you're trying to accomplish. And then up at the top part of this dialog is the overlap flag symbology, and this is the symbology that will get set if you have the flag or interactive option selected, and I'll show you that in just a second. And then this is the what do you want to match? Do you want to match the level, color, style, weight again? And then you have the overlap tolerance, and this is the tolerance of how far lines are overlapping. And then you can ignore duplicates if you want. So if you just hit apply, it'll select the lines that overlap. And then if you had one of the other options selected, such as flag, it would use this symbology to show the flags in the design file. So I'm going to change that to flag and then click apply. And if I zoom in, it's going to place this little marker in the design file and show me where things overlap. And then interactive is this little menu that pops up that shows you, that points to all the areas where things are overlapping, and you can just go through and search your file and then click finish when you're done. The gap option works the same as the overlap. You can't have overlaps and gaps running at the same time. That's why that actions was grayed out. But you have select, flag, and interactive under gaps as well. The only thing that's different is the tolerances for the gap, not for overlapping elements.